Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we have a gorgeous guest all the way in her beautiful fall cabin. Look at this. We have Kiki Nelson, and we're going to talk about her plant-based transformation. I think she lost over 70 pounds on a plant-based diet in a short amount of time. I think it was 11 or 14 months. And she has totally transformed her whole life inside and out. I can tell, I think her mental health, so many things have changed. And she's created so much as a result of this. So let's hop into it. Hey Kiki, I've wanted to have you on forever. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so glad we're finally doing this.
Me too. And I have so many amazing questions from my viewers for you. So take us back. Let us know, like, what went on? Like, when did you transform to plant-based and what happened?
Well, I just really started struggling with my weight probably sophomore year of high school, and it just kind of got worse and worse, and I was able to like calorie count for a while and get my weight down a little bit, but that only lasts for so long. And so I had gotten to where I was almost 200 pounds, and I'm petite. I'm like 5'3 3/4",
Yeah.
barely, just under 5'4". And I was almost 200 pounds. I was having like all of these kind of scary health issues. I was hypothyroid, and I'd been like pre-diabetic for the better part of a decade, but I was having like a lot of hormonal female issues going on. So I had just kind of hit a wall. My doctor was like, you have high blood pressure, high triglycerides, your blood sugar's terrible. And she was like, you need to lose like 40 pounds yesterday. And I just didn't even know how to go about losing that amount of weight in a sustainable way. Because it's one thing to get the weight off, it's a completely different arena to keep the weight off. So I was just really overwhelmed by that. So I ended up venting to a friend that I had run into in a Target and I hadn't seen in years. And she had lost like 40 pounds. And she's like, oh, check out this Dr. John McDougall. He helps people like reverse health issues, and they do it with like eating potatoes. And I was like, girl, I cannot be eating potatoes. I am Latina. Diabetes is real for my people. Like everybody in my family is diabetic. But I was out of options really. And so I went to Barnes and Noble, I picked up the book, read it in a day. My husband came home from work and I was like, we're gonna go to a plant-based diet. And he was like, woman, and
No.
he was like, I can't do this. But he had seen how much I had struggled over the years. So he's like, look, I'll give you 4 months. I will do this with you for 4 months. And I took it. So me, him, the kids, we switched immediately the next day, full plant-based diet. And we have just never looked back.
Wow. And what a transformation. So how long did it take you to feel good? And what did you notice happen?
Yeah, so I immediately started feeling better. Like within the first week, I was losing so much just inflammation weight because there's no way I could be losing 6 pounds in a week. I had stepped on the scale after 1 week and I'd lost 6 pounds. And I was like, whoa. And I wasn't counting anything. I was just eating. I was watching my fat intake and we weren't eating a lot of, processed food. So I started feeling better immediately. Like I was having more energy, I was sleeping better. And like I said, I was just dumping inflammation week after week. And after a few months, I went back in to see my doctor just for a checkup because I knew I had lost like 20 pounds in a couple months. And I knew like something had to have changed. So she checked my blood sugar and everything came back perfect for like the first time in over a decade. And she was like, what are you doing? And so, yeah.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And who knows where you'd be right now if you didn't start that, right? How long ago was that, did you say? When did you
That
start?
was, gosh, that was, I think, 7 or 8 years ago.
Wow, and all the health problems are gone?
Well, okay, so that was a process. So, like, all of my hormonal stuff really got better. And this is a long story. Like, now I'm working with like Dr. Morse to like finish, clearing stuff up, but everything got better. But what disappeared was prediabetes, and I'd had that for at least a decade. That was gone. Perfect blood sugar. I have perfect cholesterol, perfect triglycerides, perfect blood pressure. I'm no longer hypothyroid. Like I have normal thyroid numbers now. So that's all been fantastic. I was having, I don't want to like, I don't know how much detail you guys want,
We
but
like a lot of detail here. Like,
okay. It's a lot of feminine detail. So sorry for the male listeners, but I was like bleeding, like spotting all month long for over a year.
wow, from
So
what? Like, what would have been causing that? What hormone?
yeah, so I went in and I got checked out and I had a thickened uterus lining and I had abnormal cells that were starting to look like they could head in the direction of cancer. So that was really, really scary. So I had all of this happening at once when I switched to a plant-based diet. So I had a lot of motivation to stick out, eating well and trying this way of eating. But that all cleared up like that first year. It didn't clear up immediately, but it definitely within that first 12 to 14 months, it all just mellowed out and went away, which is,
Wow.
yeah.
And what
Which
would you say, like, what would you say, like, a day in the life would be then of like what you were eating to get those results?
I wasn't even eating. I eat so much better these days than I did then. That was still like full transition year. So I was eating a ton of potatoes and pasta. I had increased our vegetables and fruit consumption. But compared to like now, I eat mostly raw. So, but even that, just taking away the inflammation and the damage being caused by meat and dairy, that alone, cutting that out was life changing
It's
for my
so
health.
inflammatory. It's so crazy. I don't even think people realize it's just so normal out there, right?
Yeah, it's so normal. And I know people are like, how do you even survive? And I'm like, how do you survive? I
And
don't
you
even
look at you, you're so gorgeous. Like I said, I was showing my friend your pictures before we got on, who she just left, but she was like, oh my God, she's stunning, right? And like you've been plant-based for a while, like you're clearly thriving, living your best life, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like you've learned so much for this process. Like, is there any like mistakes you've made or like anything you think you
Oh,
would
yeah.
do over? Like anything,
I think the whole process, learning to eat well, I mean, it was a process. I think a lot of people jump in and try to go straight from, Pizza Hut to kale bowls, and that wasn't going to be sustainable for me. So what I learned was that it was okay for it to take the time that it was going to take.
Mhm.
So, and I was okay with that. I was all for progress, not perfection. And that's still what I tell people all the time. That's how I live my life. Like, look, if I am doing better today than I was 3 months ago, then I'm happy with that, but I'm never looking at perfection. And so I think over the whole journey, just learning to not be hard on yourself and learning to just give yourself time to make changes. Because really, what creates lasting change is developing habits, daily habits that are going to stick with you the rest of your life.
Yeah. And having that discipline, right?
Right.
That
Yeah.
taught discipline. Like I saw something on Instagram the other day and it was like the new 1% is the people that don't drink, don't party, follow their passion, follow their purpose, like do all the workout every day, do all these clean habits. And it's true. That's how we live our best life. And would you
Yeah.
say you're living your best life now? I can tell, like it seems like you're from Instagram. And would you say like that's a big result from like how you've changed your food choices and how else has like taking care of yourself changed your life as a whole?
I want to say that it's been more of a spiritual transformation more than just, I mean, obviously I've had a physical transformation, but spiritually just really waking up to your value as a person, to who you are, to God in you, to the choices in the food that you make. It has completely changed my life. And when you decide to nourish your body with whole living food, like, I mean, it's a whole spiritual transformation for me. I don't know if I answered your question. I
No,
feel
you
like
did.
I've
And it
got
is. It changes how you feel. It changes your alignment. It changes sort of the whole, and that's been the experience for me. My whole life has changed. What I do for my passion, my purpose, my living, my friends,
yeah.
how I feel every day. Like that's my motivation to eat well because it makes me feel my best every single day.
Absolutely.
And so I think your husband, like, that must have been nice. He did the journey with you. That makes it so much easier when the people are in alignment. And then, so what happened with him? Did he stay on it? Did he achieve results? And like, where is he now?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really lucky because he has always been super supportive of me. And when he was like, I will give you 4 months, but then I'm probably going to go back to eating how I was eating, I was like, okay, I'll take it. But he ended up feeling so much better. He ended up losing 50 pounds. He got rid of mystery aches and pains. He was like, oh my gosh, my knees don't hurt anymore when I try to like go to the gym or whatever. And so he felt so much better that he was not even interested in going back. And this is like a meat and potatoes, salt of the earth type home cooking guy. And for him to be totally fine with simple, wholesome foods, it is proof of how much his body changed.
Wow. And what would you guys say? Like, because you want to have food you love and meals you love, right? To make this lifestyle exciting. What would you maybe say have been some like key meals that keep you guys excited? And you have a new book. It is absolutely stunning. So I just want to say good job because I have it. I'm in Texas right now, but I have it at home in Miami. And when I get home this week, my daughter and I, she's plant-based, we're going to make some of the recipes. I'm so excited. So I'll put that down below. You guys want to get a copy, go get a copy. It's one of the best plant-based books I've ever seen. So maybe what are some of the like staple meals that keep you guys in love with this lifestyle?
Yeah, so when we made the transition, I knew it wasn't gonna work if I didn't keep food familiar. So my whole gig has been making familiar comfort style food, just plant-based. So for us, that's soup. Like we are a soup family. So creamy potato soups, mushroom soups, anything like that. We love potatoes and cheese sauce, and we'll put like mushrooms and kale in that and ranch on top. So it's really not exciting. It's very potatoes, cheese sauce, veggies, and ranch,
But it's
really.
good, right?
It is. It's so good.
Yeah, and you're so happy. Like, were you always this happy? Did it change? Did it affect your mental health? Like before,
No,
when you guys were carrying the extra weight and eating that way versus now?
yeah, I can say I've always been a glass half full type person, but it's definitely you find your higher self for sure when you decide to really take care of yourself. So I'm absolutely more full of joy, peace, harmony, all of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to pull up some of the viewers' questions because they all know you and they have such great questions. And what would you say is like your favorite part of being plant-based or the best part?
Just feeling good and feeling like you have energy. That, I mean, there's nothing, you can't put a price on health.
You can't. And so many people don't know how it is to feel good, right? When I was on my way here
Yeah.
from Miami to Texas, like even on the plane, like I'm not judging anyone, but I'm seeing the way people eat, like the bag of licorice and then like needing a nap, like right after and stuff. It's like, we're not meant to feel that way. We're
Yeah.
meant to feel energized from our food and good
Yeah. And you
food
really,
and
like you said,
vibrant.
you don't know that you're not feeling your best until you make that transition and then you're like, oh my gosh, I can't let go of this.
Yeah, it took me 33 years until I realized, whoa, like I didn't know I could actually feel this way. I was searching through that through alcohol and other things in the past. Did you ever have substance abuse issues or anything?
I didn't. I never liked alcohol. I was never even a coffee drinker. So, but you know, I didn't drink alcohol, but I like had a potato chip issue. So.
Yeah, and do you miss those foods now? Like, do you have cravings for the foods? And like, any advice for somebody who has a hard time like cutting out like processed crappy food?
Yeah, so I think I still will miss foods and will still crave foods. And sometimes I'll still have like a handful of chips here or some of this or some of that. But to me, it was learning to look at that food as like really not food. Like it's not suitable for human consumption
It's
in the way it comes. And so the more I have taken the time to really look at food choices that way, it helped me a lot through the years. So, and especially with my transition to eating high raw. It's interesting, the more nutrition your body gets, the less you crave those things. So I always tell people, you know, like stick it out, keep doing it. You will eventually crave different things.
Yeah, good point. So true. And okay, somebody said, wondering if you've come out with a raw cookbook. Well, you have, there's a lot of raw in your books, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of raw, but I actually am doing like I don't want to give anybody a promise. I am shooting for November, but it's just going to be like a raw jumpstart type
Good.
thing. And for me, like I go long periods of time where I actually don't even eat cooked food. I'll go for 5 weeks at a time and then I'll have something cooked. I haven't eaten anything cooked in like a week, but the whole premise of like this jumpstart is going to be, you know, progress, not perfection. So it's going to be mostly raw with, you know, the help of some not raw things in there to make it easier for the aspiring, you know, raw foodist.
Frying raw foodie. And do you notice differences when you do all raw? And I think you do some cleansing sometimes too, right?
Yeah. So, because I work routinely right now with Dr. Morse, so I'm doing a lot of cleansing. But yeah, the more I started eating high raw about 3 years ago, and the longer that I eat more raw food, the less okay I feel eating cooked food. So that's honestly like why I go weeks at a time and I don't have cooked food, but you know, then we'll have an event or company or whatever, and I'll decide to eat some cooked food for a few days. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. I feel so lethargic. I just want raw, fresh, living food. So
Yeah, and it's going good with Dr. Morse. He knows so much, right? That's being a good advice.
yeah, he is amazing. And yeah, detoxing is weird. Like you can like I'll go through weird cleansing reactions. I'm going through one right now. So, you know, that part is interesting, but I've just never felt better in my life. So
Wow. And that's like, you're not on all grapes or anything, right? Just incorporating like the herbs and stuff.
I'm eating herbs. No, well, right now I'm eating all fruit.
Wow, no way. And you're enjoying that. It feels good, right?
I
Like
love
the
that.
Texas Fruit Festival, I just had fruit all day. And I
Yeah.
haven't done that in a long time, like just eating fresh fruit all day. And I felt so good.
Yeah, I've only had fruit for, like I said, when I go like 5 weeks at a time not eating cooked food, it's because I'm eating only fruit and I'm on more herbs. But I feel so good. I love it.
That's
It's just
incredible.
natural. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. And somebody was asking if you had to start your journey all over, what would you do differently in your weight loss phase?
I I look at it as I am where I am because I learned what I needed to learn. So I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change anything because I everything I learned and the time it took was absolutely what I needed to be able to be here. So I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, wow, I love that. Okay. And let me just follow the next one. Seems like she's explored more into raw. Wondering what the biggest shifts she's experienced so far.
Energy for sure. And I don't know how to explain it, but you feel more fluid, you feel lighter, you feel more connected to yourself, to nature. Spiritually, it's a whole different ball game. I don't even know really how to convey or how to articulate other than you just feel more open, loving, and whole
Yeah.
in every sense of the word, physical, emotional, spiritual.
Yeah.
It's
And like you said before, like connected to your higher self in alignment. That's what I experienced too with raw. And that's what I see so many people experience. And someone
yeah.
said you tried Dr. Brooke Goldner's protocol for your condition. And I was at her house this morning interviewing her.
Oh,
Her and her husband are like next level inspiring. I was just like, oh my gosh. So she made her green smoothie for me. So you guys stay tuned. If that is not up yet, make sure you subscribe. It's coming soon. Or if it is up, I'll put it below. But have you tried her protocol?
I haven't tried her protocol. I looked at her I follow her. I love her. I love watching her stuff. She's so informative. Um, I looked at her protocol and then I just felt like Dr. Morse. I don't know. I just felt drawn to him and I snuck in under the radar before he stopped seeing clients. So I got to work with him and I just chose for me more fruit than veg was just what I connected with more.
Yeah.
So I have not tried it.
And you know what I love? Like with the plant foods that God gave us on this earth, like there's so many different ways that people can have their journeys and that they can heal.
Yeah.
It's not, and I think we don't need to judge each other's journey, no matter how
Yeah,
they're
for
eating,
sure.
right? Everybody's got it, they're on their own path and like I know I interview so many different people. I see people heal on all fruit. I see people heal on only greens and only sprouts. I see people heal on, all kinds of different diets and all kinds of different ways. So I think it's just all about finding what resonates with you, what's in your heart. And ideally, hopefully, like it's all plants or as many plants as possible and a lot of raw. And I think just, yeah. So somebody said, how have your blood sugars been since going plant-based? I only ask because I know she mentioned she was pre-diabetic when she was overweight. So this, because a lot of people think you eat the plants, especially they think, okay, you're on 5 weeks all fruit. They're gonna say, I'm sure you must get comments if I don't know if you posted that, but you're gonna get diabetes.
All the time. My blood sugar is perfect. It was perfect when I switched to a plant-based diet, and that was high starch, low fat. It was perfect like a few months into that, and it remained perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about going out to eat and navigating socially? Like, have you guys noticed like friends have changed or has that not changed? And like, how do you navigate that? Because I know that can be a big thing for people.
It is. So I have always like looked ahead of time and made sure that I had a plan for eating. If there wasn't a lot that I could order, then I would like bring something in the car and just preload on that and then order whatever small option there is at the restaurant. But I never stopped going out with friends or family. I always just made it work, but I made sure I had a plan ahead of time so that I wouldn't just, you know, be like, oh, it's fine, and then just go nuts at the store. Now eating more raw, that one's more difficult because my body, the longer I'm raw, my body cannot handle restaurant food. So that one is more difficult. I love going to Florida. My husband goes to Florida a lot for business, and I go with him. And there's a lot of great raw vegan restaurants there. So that's great. But otherwise, just, looking ahead, having a plan, eating in the car.
Yeah, I think planning is the key to success on like a healthy lifestyle. And I think with anything in life that we're going to do. And have you noticed or do you have any keys to like long-term health on this lifestyle? Like do you have any plans for the future? Like any ideas from what you've experienced, what you've seen in the community of what you think like keys are to thriving long-term?
Yeah, I think things need to always be simple so that they're sustainable, and you need to enjoy your food. And if you're looking at this, hating life and constantly wanting to eat the whole foods you ate, like you really need to undergo a mindset change to make this sustainable long term. As far as like being healthy long term on this, for me, that's why my journey has evolved from high starch, low fat to mostly raw. I think I'll probably end up being fully raw. You
Wow.
know, I just, that's been the progress for me, just having a lot of living wholesome foods, and just stay off the crap, guys. Just stay off the processed foods. As
Yeah, that's the worst, the processed foods.
it is. I mean, and nobody cares once in a while. Like that's not
Yeah.
going to kill you. But
Yeah.
when it's regular, it's just, you're not going to be healthy.
So bad you're not. And do you notice any differences in your relationship, like your partner? Would you say have a better relationship? Like, I don't know. I noticed because I travel around. Like, I was with Dr. Brooke Goldner and her husband today. Literally, like, they just can't keep their hands off each other. Most loving relationship. I was at Hippocrates, Brian and Anna behind the scenes, like, can't keep their hands off each other. So loving. Marcus
Awesome.
and Kara, just so respectful and loving. I was with Shane and his husband, so loving. So I do, and I'm not saying it's not like this for people who eat standard American, but do you notice like there's more respect, love, a better relationship since you're each taking care of yourself and like sort of bringing a better self to the table?
Yeah, our relationship is deeper as well because we're both in alignment with ourselves, which allows us to be in alignment with each other as well. So it's deep, it's loving, it's spiritual, it's respectful.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And somebody said, what are your, okay, sorry if there's a bit of an echo. Hopefully my editor can cut it. You can hear a bit of a one, but somebody said, since you've been eating more raw foods, have you gotten into using dehydrators? What are both of your thoughts on them? And yeah, so that's the question right there.
Yeah, so I have dehydrators and I love raw gourmet food, but like it's not reasonable for me in my daily life to be, it takes a lot of planning and a lot of prep. And I don't have like that level of adulting.
You
And
don't feel as good typically. Like it's great to enjoy maybe now and then, but to have it every day, like in my experience, I'm not going to feel as good.
yeah, I'm not. So, but I am obsessed with, I am sorry, I'm like burning up in here and you can see that I'm
No, you're glowing. You look good.
it's so
No.
hot in my, like got hot in here. Like I'm obsessed with Raw Food Romance with Lissa. Do you know
Her
her?
food is incredible. Her
It
food is
is
stunning.
incredible. Like her
Yeah.
tostada shells, like I really stopped even making the one recipe that I had developed for myself because I love hers so much. So like I will do that. I'll have those like on the weekend. I'll make the raw tacos that I love, but otherwise I'm just not. I love it. Like if somebody was going to do it for me, but I'm just not going to take the time to do it. It's so much easier to eat a bunch of fruit or have like a big, huge salad with delicious raw dressing. That for me is way easier.
Me too. I don't own a dehydrator. I think if I did, I'd be like
Okay.
kale chips every day. And they're more dry, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
reason to eat like the water rich foods. They have the water content. When you dehydrate it, like you kind of feel a bit more dehydrated, I think.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I
Like,
mean, they serve a purpose. They're amazing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. And okay, so somebody said, did you heal your thyroid issues when you ate raw?
so I was hypothyroid for years and years and years, and then that came under control. But then I learned that I had thyroid nodules. So even though all my levels were normal, I still had these nodules, and no doctor could give me any reason as to why. And I already had abnormal cells. So again, scary, don't want cancer. So that's when I honestly, I was just like, God, I need an answer. I need help because I don't know what to do from here. And I'd never heard or seen Dr. Morse before, and a video of his popped up on YouTube. And I don't even watch YouTube. Like I do not consume social media on a personal level. So his video popped up and I was like hearing things I'd never heard before. And that's why I decided to go with raw. And so, yes, like it has been so life-changing for me. Thyroid issues, like I don't have them anymore. I'm not cold. The nodules are almost gone. Like I had my last checkup. They're decreasing in size each time I go, which is amazing, instead of increasing, which is what they've been watching me for. So yeah, eating raw. But I think for me specifically, it's been all the fruit and the herbs, just and the detoxing, the way Dr. Morse, the protocol he has
Maybe
you
it
do.
kind of expedites things, right? And
I
if
think, yeah,
somebody,
for sure. Exactly. That's totally, it just expedites everything.
yeah, and if somebody wants to know, like, how do you know if you have thyroid issues? Like, what are some, because you would know, what are some of the key like symptoms and things that happen?
Yeah. Okay. So if you think you're having issues, but your levels are coming back normal, my levels were all normal, but I was dealing with extreme cold sensitivity. Like I could not get warm at all. I'd have sweaters on. We'd have the thermostat at 74 to 76 in the winter, and I was still freezing. I had low energy, and I still struggle with this. This is why I'm still working with Dr. Morse. Would get a really puffy face and a lot of fluid retention. And so I'm still working through that, but those are definitely thinning hair, irregular periods. I don't care what they tell you, like all my hormone levels were perfect and all this stuff started getting wonky. So,
Okay.
always get a second opinion.
Yeah, and I think you look really healthy. And somebody said, okay, if you did bowel cleansing / juice cleansing, oh, so they're wondering if you've done any, yeah, have you done juice cleansing? I don't know if you have, and if you healed any health ailments, but yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. So I am obsessed with Shane as well. And
Okay,
so
so
I'm a part
sorry
of
to
his
interrupt.
community.
I just went to Shane's 2 days ago because I'm in Texas. I've been asking him for like a year or two. I want to do a what I eat in a day with you video because he never does that video, right?
Yeah,
He
no,
hasn't
I've never
started.
seen it. So curious.
And everybody comments, all they want to see is what he eats. And I want to bring the people what they want to see all the time.
Yeah.
So we're so blessed. I went to his house 2 nights ago and we did a full demo in the kitchen of everything he eats. The recipes blew me away. I've never seen half these recipes. They were delicious. So you guys, if that's up, I'll put it down below. Stay tuned. But yeah, he's a great speaker. He's really inspiring. And he looks amazing. And to everybody out there,
Yeah.
he dyes his hair. He doesn't dye his hair. Like I get right up close with him in person. I can tell he doesn't dye his hair. His hair's natural. He doesn't do Botox. I can see like the lines in his head up close. I think like lighting sometimes just gives you extra glow. So like you don't see the lines, but he looks incredible. You can tell he doesn't get Botox. His forehead and he is, I guess people just like don't like to maybe see like he's 51. He looks incredible and he's fit, right? So yeah, he is inspiring. So sorry to interrupt you. I just had to get that out.
No, I've never spoken to him or talked to him. I am a part of his community, but I'm a fly on the wall. So I I love the whole juicing thing. I have not been able to make it past like day 8 because I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I just get such a horrible headache and I feel like I can't function. And I don't know if that's detox. I don't know. I should get into the group and like figure that out. So I would love to do that, but short answer, no. I haven't done like juice detoxing. I do drink a lot of raw juice. I did do a lot of like I do fruit fasting, and I saw you post this summer about your watermelon fast. And I was like, I mostly live on watermelon anyway. I should try that. And that is probably the most spiritual experience I've ever had in my life. And the best I have ever felt was all watermelon. I did that for about 20 days and then I had to travel. So
20 days is good. And even your 8-day juice cleanse, that's amazing too. And yeah, I did a watermelon cleanse this summer. I forget how long I did, maybe 10, 11 days. I forget, but I felt so good. I was literally like skipping down the street with happiness.
yeah,
Like, it feels so good. The music's on, you're just like so high vibe. It is such a fun cleanse when they're in season. Like now they're not, but I feel like it's always good to go for like what's in season. But that's cool you did that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna do that every summer because it was like that. I just was like happy, joyful, skipping around. It was unreal. There's something special about watermelon.
It's crazy. There is. There is. It's funny. It's just like shaped like the earth, and it just has all this goodness inside of us. When we eat like God's food, it just connects us to who we really are. It gives us that feeling we're really looking for in all the other things that are just addictive, that don't ever even give you anywhere near that. Nothing is like real health, right?
No, and did you feel like I did not crave anything
No,
when
me
I
too.
was totally satisfied.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I would crave like a green juice or like something green because I like my greens too. Did you drink the juice and eat it or just eat it?
No, I just ate it.
Yeah, I think that's better because I did that once too for 21 days. I just ate it. And then the last one I did the juicing too. So you can do both, but I think it's good to just eat it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And more questions. So what do you currently eat in a day since you're high raw? Well, right now you're on all the fruit, right?
Yeah, so like for the last week, I haven't been interested in eating anything other than fruit. So like I post a lot of what I eat in a day videos on my Instagram and I'll show, I'll have fruit all day. I'll have a salad midday sometimes and then have a cooked like potato dinner. I have found like grain. I just feel so much more lethargic after eating grains that I just prefer to eat potatoes if I'm going to eat cooked food. But it's simple, guys. Like it's literally just like cutting a melon and having that for breakfast. I like to mono eat. I have found that I don't like mixing fruit a lot. I don't know why. I just gravitate towards mono eating. But simple, like fruit, salad if you want, and something cooked.
I don't think there's much that feels better than the mono fruit, than the mono
Yeah.
eating. Yeah. And then because I noticed yesterday at the Texas Fruit Festival, I was mono eating. Like they literally went to Mexico to get the fruit, and it was the best fruit I've ever had. Like mono eating the best papayas of life, the best.
Oh gosh.
And then at dinner, I mixed like a bunch of stuff, right? Greens, cucumber, tomato, avocado, like all these things. And then you do notice a difference. Like mono
Yeah.
eating is just easy on digestion. So your mind feels better. It's like the big connection. That's why I do it. Like people underrate the connection between what we put inside of us and like how we're going to feel up here.
Yep.
Yeah. And so social media, you're talking about the what I eat in a day reels. And I know you do great on social media. I think you're on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know if you're on TikTok and
No,
everywhere. But
no, I'm not.
it's such me too. I went on for 12 hours and I was just like, this is not a good vibe. I'm out of here. And I deleted my account.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, nah, I'm done.
Like, what is going on? But we live in such a social media world. So a lot of people watching are always looking to get into it. They're passionate about health. Any tips for somebody who wants to start or tips for creating content?
Yeah, so I think what the world is craving is connection and authenticity. So be you, share your story because that's what we connect to as individuals. I think people connected to me because I knew what it was like to be overweight and suffer with my health. And nobody, I didn't connect with people that had never dealt with weight issues because to me, it's like, well, great, you're 21 and have never been obese. I don't really care what you have to say. So just be just being honest, like, so for me, I was like, okay, I don't see other moms out there that are making this work. Like I feel like I need to just pay it forward. So I had something I just wanted to show people that if you're busy, you're a mom, whatever, you can keep it simple and you can get healthy. So yeah, be authentic, do your thing, get on there. I really don't have like a formula because it was an accident. I made one video because everybody kept asking the same questions. And I realized we'd all read the same books and hadn't internalized the information. So I made one video explaining how I did it, how I lost weight with the starch solution. And that blew me up. In like a week, I grew from 500 subscribers to 10,000. And I was like telling my husband, "Oh, I think we need to delete this. Like, this is we need to delete this." And he was like, yeah, we
What, you didn't like the growth? You were like, this is too much. Like, what's happening?
no, my honest to God, my only goal, I felt so grateful for the change in my life. I just wanted to help 100 people. I just wanted to pay it forward. I'd never even watched YouTube and I started a YouTube channel. I don't even know what was going through my mind, to be honest. But I just wanted to help 100 people. And it was in that same year that that happened. And
See, this is what I love about you. You're so authentic and genuine. And you're not out here like every 5 minutes being like, buy my book. But you guys should buy Kiki's book because it's literally stunning. I wish I had it on me to show you because it's back from Miami. It is so good. But you're just so authentic and genuine. And now look how much you've grown, right? It's for a purpose.
yeah,
So, Ethan, you've inspired so many people to eat better and change their life. It's a big domino effect. So many people don't even realize, right?
and I feel so thankful that I've been able to just give anybody like a little hope. Like, hey, you don't have to be perfect. Just eat more plants. Like, I'm not here trying to get people to live my lifestyle or anything. I just want people to connect with the possibility that, they can feel better.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's the best route to take, not to be like, I can't believe you're eating meat. Don't eat that, to just, try and inspire them. Because when you have that attitude, 9 times out of 10, it's going to push people the other way. Like, I don't know about you, but some of my friends in real life, they aren't vegan. And they're like, what I love about you is you don't judge me for not being vegan. And they're like, it makes me want to have like these green juices and these meals, it makes me more interested and want to we have to just, I think, stay in our lane, be the inspiration. And
absolutely. I love that. Like, stay in your lane. My best friend watched me for 2 years completely change my lifestyle and my diet. And after 2 years, she was like, okay, I'm ready. And so I gave her my first book and she followed everything. And she is a mother of 5. And one of those children is autistic. She worked full time, single mom, and she lost 150 pounds. Yeah. And now she eats high raw. So, like,
so people, it's amazing. So like and it's never too late. It's never too late to transform your life. And oftentimes it happens a lot quicker than you think if you really commit to it. And then you're living a whole new life. And it's just your life can completely change in all areas. And with someone like that, or some of the people you see, or I'm not sure with yourself with the 70 pounds, but did you or anyone you see ever experience loose skin or like have any experience with that? 'Cause people ask me that on the channel all the time for me to ask my guests.
yeah, I totally, like, I have like some weird waddle right here. and I don't know if that's loose skin or just like in my 40s, not sure. But like I have loose skin like under my arms and on my hips for sure. And like, I've had babies. So I have some loose skin, but I don't have a ton. I was very fortunate. So, and I really didn't carry my weight. I wasn't like pillowy overweight. I was very like just like a tank, I call it prone to barrel is what my family, we just barrel out. So yeah.
Yeah, and don't you feel like it's important? Because I'm in my 40s too. I'm 42. And how old are you? You look so good. Like,
I am a 41. I'll be 42 this year.
wow, okay. So don't you feel like the habits we have now, like a big motivation for why I do this now is because I see a lot of people struggling with health problems in like their 60s and 70s. And that's not that far away now that we're in our 40s. And
I
the
know.
people, I know things can still happen even if you're living the best lifestyle, but I think your odds are just a million times better if you're taking care of yourself to thrive in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And the people I interview who started this lifestyle in their 40s, even some of them in their 50s and 60s, they're completely thriving, like living like Dr. Elizabeth, 65, I think in her 60s. Yeah, in her 60s, 65. Unbelievable inspiration in the gym every day. And Chef Babette in her 70s, look at her in the gym, one of the healthiest people I've seen. So much energy, running around everywhere. Fred Bishy in his 90s, like he's long-term raw vegan and just
Wow.
perfect mental capacity, no problems hearing, seeing, running around the house. So like, I don't know about you guys watching, or like, I want to live like that. I don't want to have someone taking care of me. I know other people who didn't take care of themselves and they're unfortunately going to a bunch of doctor's appointments, struggling. And I don't like to see that, I want people living their best life.
I agree. I want to still be skiing well into my 70s with no issue, So I just want to live and have fun.
Yeah. And so what did a typical day of eating look like for you before being plant-based?
Oh my, it was so awful. Like if I don't even know. And I remember, okay, we'll start. So I would have probably like 2 eggs that were cooked in grass-fed butter that I would have on toast covered in butter. And then I would put avocado on top of that and feta. And I would sometimes, and then I would sometimes have sausage links with that as well. This is so bad. Nobody's asked me this question before. So then I would go, to like basically a CrossFit class at like 200 pounds, which was awful. And then I would have a whey protein shake after, thinking I was doing really good for that. And my kidney enzymes were not doing good when I switched. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. Then lunch was like, at Costco, you could get like bags of like breaded fish or breaded chicken. It was probably like that. And I always tried to have a vegetable. And so I'd have like zucchini or roasted
a vegetable. I love it. That's normal though, right? That's normal.
Yeah, but it was roasted in either coconut oil or grass-fed butter. And I'd have pasta with that, with of course cheese. And then dinner would be animal protein again with potatoes and a vegetable roasted in a ton of like, grass-fed butter. The amount of money I spent on grass-fed butter.
You could have stock companies, right?
Like, no, seriously. And then, but listen to this. And the disconnection for me. So I would have chips before bed. I'd have like tortilla chips with cheese and sour cream and salsa. And just cutting that out one time in a month, I lost 6 pounds. Just cutting that out. And I was like, I just didn't understand. And see, I thought I was eating well because I was eating salmon and grass-fed beef and roasting everything in grass-fed butter. That damn grass-fed butter.
And the cheese addiction, like that's real.
Oh my gosh, cheese for sure was a huge addiction.
And I think dairy is just even worse. It's like the worst thing because, it's just creates, to me, the energy behind it too, what they do, because they get the cows pregnant just to take away the baby so they can milk it for humans to have the dairy. And then like the cows are like weeping, crying, they have feelings taken away. And like we're moms, right? So like somebody doing that to me, that could literally be one of, or the worst thing that could happen ever, I think. So like it's do you want to consume something that is that energy, like a
I
low
know.
vibe? And it just creates so much mucus. It's not necessary. We're not living out in the bush where we have to like milk this cow to survive or else, right? You can get those nutrients from better sources. And I know you said like those chips before bed. That's just like, you know what I was thinking, like that. I used to sometimes eat chips before bed. You wake up, your gut just feels nasty, right? That's like the worst thing you could probably do. And like eating before bed, that's another thing that is just so bad. Like,
I still eat before bed though, but I have like fruit.
oh, see, yeah, that's different. That's better.
Yeah.
Like, I've been intermittent fasting lately. Okay, yesterday at the Texas Fruit Festival, I ate great all day. I had that salad, and then I got home and it was a really long day, and I had a bunch of macadamia nuts before bed, and then I had to get up at 4 a.m. to go to Houston for Dr. Brooke, and I was so tired. It's a huge difference. So usually I intermittent fast now and I stop eating by 3, and it's a massive difference. And I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but I'm just saying even, yeah, intermittent fasting has been a game changer, except for the last 24 hours. I'm a mess right now from not doing it and not sleeping, but it's a game changer. Like it's such a difference because your body has so much time before bed to digest the food. Then you can actually just rest. If you're just going to bed in digestion mode and you have to work on digesting, then your body's not repairing those other things. Health problems can pop up. You're going to age more, right?
Okay. Well, you inspired me to like, because I literally will eat a banana as I'm like in bed.
I think that's different.
So,
You know what I mean?
okay.
That's different. That's different. Like that's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not a
Yeah.
plate of nachos
I
before
think
bed.
yeah, no, so
Like
you're
what I was doing.
amazing. What and your health transformation, has it led to transformations in other area? Like is it is it kind of like a self-care, like I almost said tornado, like a domino effect in other areas now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole new level of self-worth and a whole new level of what you're willing to tolerate and not tolerate. And believing in yourself and believing in, your gifts. And I mean, yeah, it affects everything.
Yeah.
I would have never put books together, and
Yeah.
be on book tour and doing all of that. So for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. And somebody said, what do you feed your kids? Has that been easy to navigate? It's been tough with my kids. With my oldest is plant-based, so healthy now. My youngest just wants everything and she goes to school, they eat crap. So how has it been with yours?
Yeah, so my kids were younger when we transitioned. My son's like almost 18 now. He
Oh, no
was,
way. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So they were younger. So they were 10, 11, and 5, 6. So I just made familiar food. I made vegan macaroni and cheese, vegan spaghetti with garlic bread, and kept things simple like that. Pizza, quesadillas, burritos. I didn't try to give them, all the healthy stuff right away, and just slowly worked them into having more veggies and having more fruit, and then getting rid of like the dry snacks, the crackers and stuff like that, and only having fruit available. And there's, of course, they threaten mutiny, but I run a tight ship. So I just didn't give into it. And then it's really my daughter, actually, Dr. Morse loves my daughter because my daughter has pretty much been a raw fruitarian for like the last 2 years. The
That's
kid
awesome.
is
And it's been
only,
going well?
oh my gosh, she is doing so well. She got her kidneys filtering because she wasn't filtering and like all that stuff. She's amazing. She does not like junk food. She doesn't like any of that stuff. My son, however, is my foodie, and he is perfectly happy eating like Beyond Burgers and crap like that. I just don't keep it at the house. And so when he's out with friends, and how he spends the money that he makes is up to him. I mean, he's almost 18. So
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
great. Like,
yeah,
I wish, you know what, if I could go back, I wish I had my kids younger. I would love that. I have a 6 and a 12-year-old, and I would love to have like an 18-year-old now, 41. Like, I wish I had
yeah,
my kids younger. So I think that's
yeah.
awesome. And okay, somebody wants to know, do you start your morning with fruit? Well, now you do. Yeah, but on a
Yeah.
typical
And
day,
I have done that for 3 or 4 years now. It's always fruit. I cannot even imagine eating something heavy or
Me
cook
too.
in the
Yeah,
morning.
me too.
So no way, just like an energy stealer.
It's just the best thing. You wait till you feel hungry and then you have some ripe fruit.
Exactly.
It sets you
Yeah.
on the right track for the day with a good sleep too. And somebody said, okay, you use a lot of nutritional yeast in your recipes. I'm really into nutritional yeast lately and this like massage kale salad. And they said that means you're consuming a lot of extra vitamin B. And although we pee the extra vitamin B out, ingesting excessive vitamin Bs can cause hair loss, nerve damage, and other symptoms. That's interesting. So have you ever experienced that?
So I actually don't cook with the only recipes that I have that had nutritional yeast in them were there's a fly flying around my face. I
Me
need to
too. There's one in here too.
I'm like, how rude. It's the cheese sauce and like lasagna. I actually don't even use the nutritional yeast in my cheese sauce because I don't like the taste of it at
Wow.
all.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good.
I'm
And do you
not.
supplement with anything or no? Somebody was asking me.
So so complement I used to take, but I stopped taking because Dr. Morris really, really does not want me taking anything. But I took complement for years, and that really changed like my hair, my skin, my nails. But for the season I am in of detox, I'm not currently taking anything
Yeah.
except
Okay.
herbs and fruit.
Yeah, I take the compliment. I like it. I'll put the link down below if you guys want it. I like how it's just all in one. And then
It's great, and it's not huge doses of
yeah,
anything. You're not getting filler and all of that. I love Matt. I know Matt and all of them really well, and they're really a good company. I really like
yeah.
them a lot.
Yeah, it's nice to align with good companies and things we really take and we really love. That's what I do too. And I think like sometimes I like to pay attention to extra like BHA, I think that's
Yeah.
important. So that's something I try to get extra sources in. I think it's just really important for our brain and
Yeah.
to be mindful of that, in my opinion. And
Agree.
somebody said, or have you lost any more weight on raw? Did you lose more weight raw? Probably, right? Or no?
No, you know what I'm going through, and it's like today I got on this go is water retention on raw because we're still when you're going through healing like that and kidney stuff, I deal with retaining water because I'm taking in so much water with all the fruit. So I haven't actually lost weight. I think people think that I've lost weight when I'm not retaining fluid because, I'll be, 1 week I'll be literally 14 pounds lighter from the previous week. And it's just water. And people are like, oh my gosh, you've lost so much weight. You're getting so skinny. And I'm just not retaining water, which
And do
is
you feel better? Like, do you feel better in your own skin with the weight loss versus before? Like with the way your clothes fit and like, do you
oh yeah.
feel better? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel better, not only like physically, I want to feel physically attractive just like anybody else, but you feel lighter. You can move, you can breathe, you don't feel restricted because I am Latina, so my clothes was tight no matter what size. So
Yeah. And your family, people have been supportive? Like,
yeah, so my family, of course, at first was like, okay, like, what are you doing? Here we go. But after a year, down 70 pounds and was
yeah,
keeping
like,
it off, then everybody was like, so what was that you're doing
like,
again?
can we get your book?
So,
Like, what are you
yeah,
doing?
the family has definitely dabbled in it. Some family has, maintained their position that I'm ruining my health, but that's okay. They can have their opinions and
Yeah, they can.
yeah, they're not eating my food for me. I'm eating my food for me. So
Yeah, you have to do what's best for you. And I feel like the right people will support us. Sometimes it might be family members that we can't exactly just cut out, but we just do the best we can with those relationships, stay positive,
We
stay in our
do the
lane,
best.
live our best life, prioritize ourselves because
Yeah.
then everything's going to be better, right? Raise our energy, raise ourselves, and then we'll have more to offer those people. And okay, well, this has been amazing. Thanks for coming on. I wanted to have you on forever. I just think you're so amazing. So
Thank you
is
for
there
having
anything
me.
else? Yeah, of course. Is there anything else you want to add or like any words to end off for somebody who might be like living the old you way, or maybe somebody's not like exactly where you are and they want to get
Yeah.
there, and let everybody know where they can find you as well. And I'll put it down below.
Yeah. So just remember that everything you need already lives within you. Everything you need. So it's just about tapping into that and taking the time to realize that you're amazing and you deserve amazing. And then start getting after it. And you can find me most often on Instagram at Plantiful Kiki, and I'm posting what I post there on my YouTube regularly now.
Love it. Thanks for coming on. So inspiring. Such a good talk, and it's just awesome. So I'll put on the screen right now the green smoothie, if it's up right now, if we have it up, that I was talking about with Dr. Brooke Goldner. And I'll put on the screen too a podcast I did with Dr. Morse, because there's a really good one I did. And he's just so much info, and he's unfortunately not on his YouTube channel anymore. So go check that out, you guys. Subscribe for more awesome videos. Go follow Kiki, get her book. You won't regret it. It's amazing. And we will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.